Hi and welcome to K Warner Studio. Today we're going to talk about Sonnet Russian paints that are manufactured by St. Peter's Paint Company in Russia. They also manufacture white knights, and this is the reference material that is provided by the company. As you can see, Sonnet is down here and white knights is here. They have the same pigment color numbers. They have the light fast, everything is the same between white knights and Sonnet. It's a great paint with vibrant colors. You have 24 colors in the selection. I bought this myself, so I have no affiliation with the paint company whatsoever. I just think for people that are learning to paint and you want to have paint react like good quality paint does, that is vibrant and transparent and mixes well, that Sonnet is better than some. It's not as good as your high quality professional paints, but is definitely better than student grade paints and some professional grade paints, but we won't get into that. But this is a great alternative for somebody that doesn't want to spend a whole lot of money to see if they like the medium and are going to get predictable results. So I think that's what the problem is with some of the cheaper paints, is that you don't have the predictable results that you should have. So now you've bought this 24 set of Sonnet paints. That's $20 on Amazon. As I mentioned in my review, it comes in a plastic tray, and this plastic tray is in a cardboard tray with a sleeve that goes over the top of them. Now these have full pans that are actually completely filled, as you can see. I've used some of them, but they're quite full. This yellow I've used a lot, so that's why that's down a little bit. But overall, when people talk about cold and warm colors and all of that, you have everything in here. You have a warm of one shade and a cool of one shade. So in searching for something to do with these, when are you going to put these in that isn't going to cost you a lot of money? I've done a review previously on jacksonarts.com, and they have wonderful no-name metal palette cases that are 11 pounds. So if you want to have a look at those, please do. And these pans will definitely fit the small 24 pan palette. You'll even have a couple spaces left over. But what I want to talk about today is a really economical alternative. So I pulled out Altoids box that I had just used to, ingested the last candy. I think they might market them as lozenges, but they're actually candy. This is a spearmint flavor. And so I've tried to see how many pans will fit in here. You can get 9 of these pans just fitting them in this way. I'll tilt that so you can see it better. Just putting them in this way. You can get 9 comfortably, 3 rows of 3 all the way up. So then the next question is, well, what colors do I pick? So as I mentioned, in order to have nice color mixing, and you can mix anything with a cool and a warm of each primary. So primaries are red, yellow, and blue. So your blue and your yellow make green, your red and your blue make purple and violets, and on it goes. So if I was to pick my colors, I would pick my lemon yellow, my medium yellow, so cool, warm. And if you look at a color wheel, it tells you that the cool side is on the blue side, and the warm colors are the red and the yellow side. So yellow's at the top, and you go around this way. Okay, so we have our cool colors here with blue, and we have the warm colors with red. So just think of fire. Fire's warm, that's a warm color. So then we would go on to our reds. So here we have the warm one, which is towards the yellow or the orange. We can put that by the yellow, by our, and then we have this one. And that is the blue shade of red. As you can see the blue in that color. next to them. You can see one is more orange and one is more blue. So orange, yellow is warm, blue is cold, and then we're going to go on to blues. So we have this one, which is the French ultramarine, and then you have a choice there between your cerulean or your cobalt, and so here they are here. We've already chosen this one, the French ultramarine. So your choice really is between this one, which they say is cerulean blue, or this one, which is a cobalt blue. I would choose the cobalt over this one. Just, you know, but you can certainly try them out and see how it mixes with yellow and how it mixes with red, and whether or not that's going to be something that you would like. So right away we know we don't need any greens, because we can mix the greens with what we put in here, and we can definitely mix the purples with the blues and the reds, and the violets with the blues and the reds. So we're going to put these two in here, our two blues. And then we get down to our tertiary colors, which are your burnt sienna, your burnt umber, your raw sienna, and your sepia, which are all in here. I'd stay away from the black, because you can mix your black with your blue and one of your tertiary colors. And if you wanted to make your blue gray, you just add more water. That's the great thing about watercolor, is that the water works in strengthening is less water, weakening is more water. And if you want really light, then you have more white, which means you allow more of your paper through. I wouldn't put white in either. I would just let the paper shine through. And so I would take as many of my tertiary colors as I can, and that just means there's 3 colors all mixed together to give you this color. So I would definitely take my burnt sienna and French ultramarine. They make a nice deep black or a dark gray, as well as your burnt umber. That'll make a deep color. And I would even put my sepia if I wanted to. Or you could put your raw sienna. So either one would work great. Maybe the raw sienna would be a better choice, because you've got these two ones down here, your burnt umber and your burnt sienna, that will give you nice dark colors. And so we'll put in our raw sienna, and you can mix your yellow and your raw sienna and a touch of red, and you'll have your ochre. So that is all you need for plein air painting on the go. To take on a trip, just to try out, you know, just in a sketchbook. Take a sketchbook, a water brush, a collapsible brush, some water source if you're not going to take a water brush, and your paper, pad, or sketchbook, and away you go. So this here would be the cost of the mints. Maybe they're $3, and your paints for $20, and a brush, and for under $30 you're watercoloring with quality paints. So now the other question is, I don't want to buy pans, and I see a really economical option on Amazon. So Amazon has this airtight watercolor palette. It has wells. This is not meant for pans. Okay, and you know, maybe some people understand that, but there are people that don't. So this is who we're trying to educate here. So here we have Winsor & Newton student grade, which is Cotman. And this is Winsor & Newton professional grade. And then we have Daniel Smith professional grade. These two paints, brand of paints, are going to exceed the quality of the Cotman. Cotman is still good to practice with, but it's not as good as the Sonnet brand here. This tube, I live in Canada, and I think that this tube was like $4 for that. That's one color, and you can get 24 colors for $20 delivered to the door for $20 from Amazon. So 24 high quality paints, but in the event that's not something that you want to try, because maybe this kind of a palette appeals to you. In doing this palette, yes, you can fill these up. You will not get as much paint as these pans, as what this pan holds in this well. this leaves room for your brush up here to enter into the well, so you don't fill it right to the brim in this here. The other solution is if you wanted to not buy this $25 palette and still continue with this Altoid box, you can get half pans. Now I bought these online. They were from the Paper House, and I forget how much they were now, but if you look at the review on my channel, you'll see this. So these pans are half pans. You can get 15 of these half pans in this Altoid box. Some of them you have to put like this in the last row to accommodate the sizing, but you get 15 comfortably in there. If they move around, see this one here, they're pretty snug. They don't do any moving around. Actually it's a great fit. But let's say you put the 15 in and they move around a bit. All you have to do is put a little dash of paint down and put this on top of it, and it'll hold it like cement. The other thing that you can do is put little droplets of honey, and that will hold it great too. And a lot of paint has honey in it, so it won't hurt anything if it does happen to seep up through. You can take your tubes of paint, you can collect them as you are able to get them on sale or at a good deal, and you would fill your pans up. When you fill the pans, you go corner to corner to corner to corner, and then you put a dot in the middle. Now if you want to, I would say you can mix them up with an unflavored toothpick or a straight pin, and just use one pick or one straight pin per color. Give it a mix, let that settle and dry, and fill it up a little more if you like. The great thing is that if you own the tube of paint, you can fill it as you see fit, until you use it all. So the other thing is this is 8 mils in the Cotman, 15 mils in the Daniel Smith, and 37 mils with the Winsor Newton professional grade. I would say of the three, Winsor Newton professional grade has been the most expensive for me to obtain, and I've gotten great deals at ellenhudson.com on the Daniel Smith brand. It comes in 7 or 5 mil, 15 mil, and I believe it's 37 mils in some locations. I believe Ellen Hudson on hers just has 15 mils and 7 mils, but I could be wrong. I've just purchased those sizes from her, and that I know, because that's what I've had from her. I don't have any bigger sizes other than this 15 mil of Daniel Smith paints. Yeah, that seems to be the biggest that I have. So yes, if you want to start watercolor painting and you want to do it on a budget, but you want to have good quality paints, I would say start with your Sonnet brand, and then if you decide you like it, certainly start to collect either the tubes or one of the metal palette tins from a place like jacksonarts.com. That is the most economical. I've looked at them from Jerry's Artorama, Dick Blick. The metal palettes that are comparable in quality cost a lot more. So thank you so much for joining me today and taking time out of your day to spend it with me. Bye bye.